Welcome to Belmont Journal News Now. I'm your host, Jeff Hansel. And today we'll be catching up with all the news with Joanna Tzouvelis, the senior multimedia journalist at the wickedlocal.com and the Belmont Citizen-Herald. Welcome, Joanna.
Thanks, Jeff. Pleasure to be here.
Great. Well, let's just dig right into it. The school committee just passed their new budget, and this is subsequent to the failed override. What happened?
Well, let's just say there was a lot of back and forth on this budget, and they definitely listened to the public, which is great. I mean, they were talking originally about cutting all of freshman sports at Belmont High School and cutting a lot of positions at the middle school, and including a music and band teacher. And, they listened to parents' concerns, and they were able to work it out so that they were able to keep some of these positions, which is good. So, but
Well, how much, if I may, how much did they actually cut from the school budget altogether?
$2,070,000. So $2,070,000. Was the
About $2 million.
75% of those cuts were salary line items. 25% were related to extracurricular athletics materials.
And how much of the budget was?
That's about 3%.
3%. Okay.
The final approved budget is 66. It's about $66,200,000. And let me just tell you a little bit about what they had couldn't keep. So there were a lot of new positions, Jeff, that Superintendent John Phelan wanted, including a technology integration specialist, four new middle school teachers and 2 high school teachers, as well as a communications position. But they're not going to hire any of those new positions. And those cuts add up to about $626,000.
So you're saying the new positions are cut. Is that what you're saying?
All of them except they're keeping the director of equity position. They're going to keep that, and they're going to keep 2 special education chairs. So they managed to keep 3 out of all the others that they.
So in a way, if I understand what you're saying, the proposed new positions that were in the budget were not actually in the budget last year, but those are cut anyway.
Right.
Okay.
However, they are cutting 7 existing positions, and pink slips will be given to those teachers this Friday. And the positions that they're cutting are 2 kindergarten teachers, a 1st grade teacher, a 4th grade teacher at the Butler, and the director of physical education and athletics, who happens to be Jim Davis, who's retiring. His position's getting cut in half. And then there are 2 kindergarten classroom assistants that are also getting cut. However, the good news is on the chopping block, which isn't, but they're not going to be chopped after all, were a math and world language and music band teacher. So 3 teachers at the middle school will not be on the chopping block.
Okay. Well, that sounds like good news.
Yeah, so that's good news.
And so Jim Davis, they just announced he would be retiring. He'd been in the position for quite a while. I understand.
I'll have to do a story if I can get a hold of him.
Okay. So that actually, so cutting that position and that he's retiring, there's a bit more savings there than what they might have projected anyway.
Right.
Okay.
Right. A lot of teachers that are retiring may not hire a replacement.
Are they going to be, is there going to be a halftime position or a teacher assigned to the athletic director?
That's what they're going to do. They're going to have an interim halftime position. So the impact on these cuts, Jeff, really, according to Superintendent Phelan, is class sizes at the middle school. That will, these cuts will have the greatest impact on those class sizes.
Now, could the budget, could they revise the budget? I mean, would there be anything that could happen relative to federal aid?
Potentially town meeting. We'll see what happens, because they're the next ones to have to approve this. That's where they're heading next. So you never know what could happen the night of town meeting.
Great. Anything else to report from the school committee?
No, that is all on the school committee.
Okay. Next, on a sad note, a longtime Belmont resident, activist, and personality, Sandy Kendall, passed away on May 6th. That's sad news for everyone.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about her. I know you knew her and I knew her. I don't know anybody who could say they didn't know her. And if you don't know the name, if you saw a woman wearing a late 1800s style forest green dress, that's Sandy Kendall. And she would always wear a hat. She would be in the Memorial Day parades. She was at the Belmont, a lot of Belmont Women's Club events. She was very involved in the Rotary Club, Historical Society, Dramatic Club. She was a town meeting member for 25 years. She graduated Belmont High in 1951. She got a Bachelor of Music degree in piano performance from BU's School for the Arts. And that's why she was really famous for playing the piano at town meeting. She would always play the piano at town meeting. I think you even said it, Jeff, that she would make everybody stand up and sing along with.
I remember that. She really got everything off on a very energetic start.
I've been interviewing people around town about her, and they all just said, just thinking about her makes you smile. How could you not have a smile to your face when you think about Sandy? She was also involved in the Arlington Belmont Chorale, and she was the minister of music at the First Church in Belmont up until she was 83 years old. I did not know that. She spent her final years in Maine. She had a home in Maine, right on a pond. And in fact, it's called Square Pond. In fact, they're taking donations. If anyone wants to contribute in her memory, you can support the Square Pond Improvement Association. Go to squarepond.org. And you can find out more on the Brown and Hickey Funeral Home obituary page. Her visiting hours are Thursday, May 20th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Brown and Hickey. Face masks and social distancing will be required. I'm sure it'll be quite a crowd that shows up.
I do remember she used to do also the holiday or Christmas sing-along too.
Yes.
Up here, up the street from Belmont Media Center. And that was always fun. And
she had her own company, Sandy
right.
and Company.
Yep. Well, she'll be
In fact,
listening.
she was on Belmont Business Report.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
With Angelo Ferenzi.
Well, I have fond memories of her. And then finally, Joanna, there's something to do with 89 Fletcher Road. What's that all about?
Well, I have realtors often calling me, Jeff. They've got listings coming on and they're like, this is a listing you're going to want to write about. But I can't write about every listing. It has to be a unique listing. Otherwise, I'd be writing about listings all the time for realtors. So this particular home, it's 89 Fletcher Road, which is the corner of Prentice Lane and Fletcher Road. It's coming on the market for $6.5 million. So to me, that was a headline in itself. Just the fact that it's such a high-priced home coming on the market in Belmont, that's newsworthy. But it's also newsworthy because it happens to be known as the Castle on the Hill. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. It was built by a former master of Belmont Hill School and his wife. They built it for $34,500. Since they lived there in the early 1930s, and this is an 8,000 square foot brick estate, Norman country style. It has 2 triple stacked chimneys, leaded glass windows, curved cove ceilings, views of Boston. It's on 1.25 acres, which is a lot of land for Belmont. So since they lived there, it's had 4 other owners. And in 1991, that's when the most recent owner bought it. They bought it in 1991 for $1 million, which was the most expensive home that ever sold in Belmont.
This was in 1991 that they sold
1991.
it. Okay, so
and now it's on the market. It'll officially be listed on May 13th for $6.5 million.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Would it be, do you know if it's one of the more expensive homes or?
Yes. The only other homes that have sold in that price range, there was one in 2019 on Sumner Road that sold for $6.45 million.
Okay.
And then there was one in 2018, Concord Avenue, that sold for $5.5 million.
Okay. Well, be sure to get your bids in now because I'm sure that's going to be a popular home, right?
Perhaps there will be a bidding war. You never know. I did have the pleasure of touring it, and I will say it was pretty unusual. Just the architecture in itself, I thought was very unusual.
Well, thank you very much, Joanna.
You're welcome.
and we'll see you next time.